Hello everyone, myself Santosh Chinchali, uh, Assistant Professor, Computer Science Department, BAD Engineering College, Vijayapura. So, first I would like to welcome you all for the third year. So, I am going to handle Unix concepts and application subject for you. Mm. Earlier, this subject is of only Unix shell programming, and one more subject we have Unix system programming. But now, for your syllabus, it has been merged into only Unix system. That is, Unix shell programming and system program will together into a single Unix system programming subject. Okay, so today we begin with the uh, introduction part of Unix. In that, uh, these are the book which I referred to prepare the concept. So first one is Sumit Das. It is fourth edition, and publisher is Tada McGraw Hill. Then take second and third books. Third book, you just go through it. Mm, the most of the syllabus will be covered from the first textbook only. Then, in the introduction part, we are going to learn many concepts are there, but for the day one, I am going to explain regarding what is an operating system, features of Unix, different flavors of Unix, then Unix system architecture, then Unix command usage. Okay, then what is an operating system? Okay, so we begin with the whenever we want to perform a task, we need a instruction. Okay, a set of instructions are required to perform a task is called an program, but operating system is an collection of program to perform many tasks. Okay, so it provides an interface between user and the hardware. For example, whenever we brought a computer, so initially it was just a hardware parts that are not installed with an operating system. So without operating system, it is just a static device. It will not perform any operations. So in order to provide an interface between user with the system, we require an operating system, so that it provides an environment so that user can execute any kind of programs, as well as it provides a user that how to allocate the memory and how to perform the task. At same time, it will provide the low level abstract, we can say a low level program that manages an hardware part. Okay, so as I told now, it is an operating system which provides an interface between user and computer's hardware, and it will be considered an heart of any machine, because uh, once we install an OS, then only you can able to perform the uh, some little task at the beginning. Okay, so for example, whenever you start the machine, if you want to make some navigation, that time we require a small program. It has to run in the OS. So it provides an environment so user can execute any kind of programs in it. In other words, it is a low level software which manages an hardware by controlling the execution of all kind of programs. As I told, it controls the allocation of resources such as services as memory, processor, device, and many other applications. And it supports basic functions such as scheduling of tasks, means which task we performed first, which task we performed in the later, as well as it controls the peripherals. What are my peripherals? Peripherals are nothing but the RAM, hard disk, processor, uh, and many uh, necessary hardware features. Okay, then most of the operating system what we are using now are the DOS. DOS is an earlier, you people might know the DOS. Earlier it was there, but now right now we are using Windows and Linux operating systems. The difference between Windows and Linux system is that in the Windows, most of the things what we are doing is based on the GUI. What is the GUI? Graphical user interface. But the Linux is an interpreter command language. So that in order to perform any task, you have to make use of the commands. Then just I provide why we go for Unix operating system as well as a history of an Unix. So Unix is an multi-user, multitasking, multi-processing operating system. So we can perform all these tasks. So by default we are going for an Unix operating system. So whenever these many advantages are there, so and it is open source, so we go for Unix as an operating system for handy operations. Then as I told, it is an command line interpreter. Okay. Then in order to perform any operations or execution, here we go for providing the commands, then press enter, that command will get executed, we get the output. Like in the Windows, we go for a menu driven, we click on that run button, then the operation will be performed. Then it was developed in the year 1969 by Thomson and Dennis Ritchie in the AT&T Bell Laboratory. AT&T means it is an American telephony and telegraphy Bell Laboratories. Okay. Then this Unix operating system is also called as Multics. So multi-information computing services. So many tasks can be done by using this OS. So it can be called as an Multics. Okay. Some Unix OS is open source. Open source means you can download it freely, and if you want to edit some code in it, you can edit for development purpose. And if you are not open source, because if you want to add some new features into it, then those features are not available freely to the users. Okay, if you want to use those features, that time you have to buy them. They will provide some license, then you can use it. Then the second bit of the inclusion part is why we go for Unix, because it has a set of features. So first feature is it is multi-user. So the name itself indicate more than one user can use the machine simultaneously uh, by using either terminal. In the Unix we are having the terminals, or in the Windows we are having the command prompt. Okay, so many one user can make use of two or three terminal, so you can execute and the three terminal at same time you can execute three programs. Okay, so more number of terminals you can make use of, and you can execute those number of programs. Okay, in one terminal I'm going to execute C program, in another terminal at same time I can execute C++ program, in another terminal I can execute Java program, so that as many number of terminals I can make use of to execute different programs at a time. Then it is multitasking. Actually it is multitasking. So multiple programs can be run at a same time, as I told earlier. Then it is multi-process. As I told, many users can execute the programs at the same time. So for example, if 5 users are using the OS, each user can execute many other programs at the same time. It means that 5 people, one person is working on Java, one person working on C. They can execute at same time. They can execute different programs at a time. Then it is open system. Some of the Unix OS is open, as I told earlier. We can use those code, and you can modify the source code, and you can build the new uh, softwares by using those open source utilities. Then portability. Okay, so these software, Unix software can be operates in any other machines. For example, if one machine is having different configuration, another machine is having different configuration, at that time also it can successfully works on both the machines. Like if you're using PC and if you're using the Android mobiles, then you can make use of tab. All are having different configuration, but we'll get an we'll get the operating system Unix will run smoothly in all the configuration devices. If we are using an iPhone user, whenever we use the in a new machine, if I provide the ID, I can get whatever the things are there in the earlier mobile. We get all the things here. That is migration from earlier version to new version, that will be done automatically without any problems. That we consider to be an portability. Then programming facility. So Unix shells can be used as programming. For example, here like C programming, you're going to write some program to design new application. Here also you can design a new application by using the scripting languages. Like what is scripting languages, that we'll see in the upcoming classes. So that will provides a programming facility. Then communication facility. That means that many people are working on the different project. If they want some file from the another person, they can directly make use of the libraries or dictionaries. They can share the data. So this Unix provide the communication between the peoples with different platform. Okay. Then security. It will provide two level of security. One is uh, the system level security, and the one the file level security. What is system level security? For example, in the network admin, he will monitoring which all users are using, which all files, which all users are accessing, which all files at a same time, and he can make that which files to be allowed to accessed by the particular user and which are not. That will be managed by the system admin. Similarly, the file level security, it is for the individual user. For example, if I created my file, it can whether I am going to provide it for the anyone can edit the file, or only the people can access it, or some people can only view it. It is left to the owner which kind of security you want to provide for his file. Then tools and utilities. So it provides different tools, library and dictionary for the software development. As of it is open source, if the person is going to add some adds on to it, so he can make use of the library and utilities, and you can design the new software by using the these available resources. Then piping. What is piping? Piping is nothing but as I was told, it is the it is output of the first command will be the input of the next command. So for example, if I am executing one program, 2 plus 2 equal to 4, if it is the answer, this answer will be required for the another program. That time the output of this first program will be the input for the second program. Okay, so that is mm, we can say that is an piping system. So help facility. For example, it is an command line interpreter. If we don't know any of the command, how it syntax, how it works, we don't know. That time what we do, for example, man is a command. For I want to get the how many users are there in the system, so that time I will just display man. Then I will provide whatever the required command will be there, that will specify there. Then that will display what is the use of this command and how to provide a syntax for this command, that is specified by making use of man. Man will be considered it is an help command. Okay, for example, I want to know the date, so that just specify man space date. So then it will display what will be the format of date and how to access different fields of the date, that all will be displayed uh, briefly. So by making use of that facility, you can learn the Unix operating system commands easily. Then next one is different flavors of Unix. Okay, different flavors means it I cover in the next uh,